It's the COVID Freedom Sessions, April 15th, 2021, in lockdown in Toronto. Still going out, still spreading love and light through our music with Phil Jacobs.
Thank you, Chris.
Welcome to the COVID Freedom Sessions.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dream that you dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Someday I'll wish upon a star. I'll wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Yeah, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. And the dream that you dreamed of, oh why can't I? Oh, I see trees of green, red roses too, and I watch them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, I see skies of blue, I see clouds of white. The brightness of day highlights the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors on the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, always on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They're always saying, I love you. I see babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we will know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, yeah. Where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top, that's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high in the dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Da 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 da.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Chris.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Phil. We're just waiting for our angel to come, Angela, and she's just about here. She's just coming through the clouds, she said.
Amazing.
Just about here to visit us.
Amazing.
And be with us and share with us today on plant-based food, which is what we'll be talking about. And we were just talking about, interestingly enough, and thank you for that song. It was beautiful. There are some new words in there.
Yeah. You want the big screen now.
Yeah, I know there were some new words that you shared in that song in the first verse.
What'd you notice?
I don't know. I don't remember the word now. Was it candy cane?
Oh, lemon drops.
Lemon drops. There it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the song. The one that I can't remember his name. Ishmael, the Hawaiian guy, did. Where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. And I think that line is actually in the original song of Somewhere Over the Rainbow from, what's the movie? The Click Your Red Heels and Go Home.
Exactly. Please do.
What's that? Yes. What's that movie called? Anyway, from that movie.
The Wizard of Oz, you mean?
The Wizard of Oz, yes.
Yeah.
Dorothy sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but in the middle, where it goes da 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 da, that riff is like someday you'll da 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 da. Anyway,
that's right.
That's my version of that song, but that's from there. So, where trouble melts away like lemon drops, Chris. How does that make you feel when you hear that?
It feels like honey, actually. Right?
It just melts.
Wait, I saw an angel and then she disappeared. She will reappear. She will reappear. Yeah, it felt like honey, really. Yeah. There, an angel. I knew she was there. Hi, Angela. How are you doing?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh,
So
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Hey ya mayo wana hene yo, hey ya mayo wana hene yo. Hey ya mayo wana hene yo, hey ya mayo Oops. Wahi ayana, hey 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 ho. Wahi hey 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 ho. Wahi. Hey amayo wana henayo, hey amayo wana henayo. Hey amayo wana henayo, hey amayo wana henayo. Wahi ayana. So we said about 2.5 minutes. So I just wanted to tail end that off for you.
Well, good. Well, thank you for that.
Beautiful.
So great.
That was amazing.
So
Great.
would you like to know what that actually means?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I was actually talking to Chris this morning, and I was telling him that I sing mantras, and I went out the other night to go meditate by the water, and I sang a different mantra, and then I sang that one, and it attracted a bunch of ducks, and they became my audience because they liked the music so much. I thought that was so beautiful. So
That's amazing. That's amazing.
okay, so the lyrics are Hey Yama Yo, Wana Hene Yo, Hey Yama Yo, Wana Hene Yo. And then it goes on like Wahi. So the whole translation means gratitude for existence here and now, gratitude for every moment. I am born, I grow up, I teach, and I return to the earth to be born again. So
That's
it's
beautiful.
it is so beautiful, and like when you sing it, you really feel the vibrations and stuff. So I love it. So thank you for letting me share that with you.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for bringing that this morning. That's amazing. That's amazing.
It is beautiful, and now you'll need to bring one each time because we're going to do 2 more sessions together too. So you'll be able to bring one each time. We look forward to it. Which language is it in? What's the culture it's from?
So it says it's from the Lakota tribe. The song is actually sung by Kurawaka, and they do a lot of kind of mantras and kind of medicine music. I think they're located in Latin America, so it's probably like an Amazonian tribe. I'm not actually sure about that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I just really resonate with a lot of music from Latin America, a lot of Spanish music, like I'm fluent in Spanish, but songs that honor Pachamama, Gaia. I love mantras too. More about the vibration that they bring. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
And it is broad. I will sing a song every single time.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. And I know that when we were talking, you're very inspired right now with food and plant-based food especially, and maybe you can give us some background on that.
Yeah. Well, that's actually why I was late, because I was on a call with Cisco, and I'm their official Canadian plant-based chef. So they're going to be doing a whole bunch of online cooking classes or cooking shows, and I'm the person. However, I am more about whole foods than processed foods, just because I'm into the health aspect of it. And I have been plant-based since March 1st, like 100% vegan, I guess you could say, since March 1st, 2015. And I am honestly getting younger. I have more energy. I feel better. I'm healthier. And it's really helped increase my spirituality too, like my connection. I've also been doing a lot of detoxing. So it's important that we do eat living foods, whether or not you are a meat consumer or not. Like having a predominantly plant-based diet is always the best thing you can do, whether or not you go full plant-based.
Yes, I'm familiar with the Okinawa program. I don't know if you know about the Okinawa program. The longest lived people in the world are typically in Okinawa. There was a study by this out of the University of Toronto, 2 twin brothers, called the Okinawa Project, and they lived over 130 years, these people, and still do. And it's just they're very spiritual with nature, and they eat primarily plants and then a bit of fish. But that's about it. But I wanted to get the take on it from a spiritual point of view, and this is my biggest question today, and it's probably like an easy answer, but I couldn't find the right words for it, and maybe you have it, is, we're eating plants, but plants are living beings. So is that okay? Like, is it okay that we're eating plants? And how is that? Is it just part of the natural universe and ecosystem and the circle of life?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And it's funny, what you were talking to, there's another study called the Blue Zone diet, and it's people in blue zones, which also have this higher life expectancy. But
Yeah.
a lot of that is just connection to source, like they are eating directly from the source. They are, appreciative of what they are, mindful of what they're consuming from source. And that's a native tradition too, is to, if they do eat an animal, at least they, give thanks and respect to the life that, was lost. In terms of, I get that a lot, like, oh, well, plants, they can feel, but plants are different than animals because they're sentient beings, but they don't have like the same emotional connections that animals do. And the difference between, eating an animal and eating a plant is like, I can leave a potato on my counter and it can grow a potato. If you leave a piece of meat, it's going to start rotting, right? And
Yeah.
so it brings it into the life force energy. So if you look at raw, like I actually did raw vegan chef training. I'm not completely raw, but I do eat a lot of raw foods because it's like higher vibrational foods, and that's also tied to your spirituality, right? The more higher vibrational you are, the closer you are to, manifestation and source energy. But also, you can see the biophoton. If they have special lights that actually show the living energy, and you would be interested in this because you do a lot with frequency, right? You can see the biophoton of, say, like an apple, and you can see it's got this life force energy. Whereas if you do that compared to a piece of meat, there's like nothing, right? And so we always think about meat or whatever it is we consume in terms of like the macros, like the calories, the fat, the proteins, because that's what we've been conditioned to think and look for. But food is information. So if you're eating something that's going to essentially grow something else, you're eating that life force into you, right? So
You're eating the life force.
yes.
I wanted to hand it over to Phil to sort of answer my first question too, from his perspective. I'm going to put you on the big screen, Phil. Because hold on, Phil walks every day. He connects with nature. He even takes his shoes off. Okay, and he feels the earth coming through. And so I want to know how you feel, Phil, because what we're talking about here is you connect to nature and then you eat it. Like, how do you feel about that?
Okay, so about perspective, Chris.
I know I need some perspective here because
Yeah.
I know I'm relating two things unrelated, but I mean just from the outside that's what I get. I'm like, how do I justify this in my head to eat a carrot? Because it's a killed carrot. If you look at something, those carrots were murdered.
No,
and
they
I
weren't.
cooked them.
They're still alive.
It's different. Yes.
It's living
They're still
food.
alive.
It's
It's alive,
different.
sitting in your fridge still. It can
Yeah.
grow another carrot. I
Yeah,
can
and
take that.
as you're eating it too, you're not killing it. You're actually transforming it, and that's mixing the live enzymes of the carrot are now mixing with your enzymes, and you're actually giving a different
Nourishing.
life to the carrot. Right? The carrot gets to have like a human experience, and that's incredible. But it didn't die first. Right? We're not.
And it
we're
didn't
not-
suffer.
It wasn't murdered.
It didn't
wasn't
suffer.
murdered. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, that's in Notting Hill. There's a great scene in Notting Hill where she says, "You mean those carrots were murdered?" And she goes, "Yes." Right? Yeah. So they weren't. I'm glad they weren't murdered. I feel a lot better.
I think
It's
if you
more.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so another issue is I don't want to take off your thing, but like it's more of the conditions that these animals live in too. Like a lot of them are bred just to be consumed, right? And they don't have the quality of life that you would want to have if you were going to be, essentially some sort of meat or whatever, right? Like some of them have never seen the light of day. They live in unsanitary conditions. They're in fear. And if we break it down to the energy, once again, we are what we consume, and that goes to, the energetic level. So if you're eating something that is constantly living in fear and injected with hormones and stuff, you are essentially getting that. I saw a study once on these lab rats, that they did this training on these lab rats that like only this specific group of lab rats would be able to do. It was like highly like intelligent, like they had to push something, go down. And then they fed those lab rats to other lab rats, and those lab rats could do the same thing because they absorbed that DNA memory in the cells that they were consuming. So
I get it.
That on that fear level, like maybe this is why we're all angry and we're all anxious. Like maybe it has to do with what we're consuming at this unsustainable, unconscious level. I'm not saying people can't eat meat. Like it works best for me, but we can't all be eating meat this much in this way.
I take it. I totally take your point that plants, animals have energy in them, and they're going to have different energy. And what you're really talking about is those animals that are in the dark. They're in trauma their whole entire life. They're in a state of trauma and haven't seen the sunlight of day. They haven't run in a field, and they're getting fed food that is unnatural in a way. Yeah. But you know what I really wanted to do is I want to go back to Phil, because I can see him. He's consumed by thoughts and emotions right now. So Phil, you're on the big screen. And you left off on we figured out for me, and thank you for taking me through it.
You're welcome.
That we're eating living food, and I've heard of that before.
Right.
Eating living food, and now I have a better idea. Is that it's still living even in my fridge?
Yeah, and from the carrot's perspective, I'm not going to say I've got a carrot or I know what a carrot, but a carrot's perspective is not your perspective. Right.
Right.
So
it's being a carrot.
It's being a carrot. So anything like it's being murdered or anything like that is a direct a direct projection, basically.
From me.
But from society and culture, Chris, we got to say that, right? Because that's where we're getting most of the information from in the mainstream media. We talk about murdering something. When we murder the animals, that's different. We're actually slaughtering the animal, right? And the
that
animal,
once lived.
that once lived, and then if that animal is containing, once that happens, that animal contain, and all the meat inside that's consumed contains that excess cortisol from the fear. And we were talking about just now about fear being in the food, and we're getting the message of food. Message of fear in the media. We need to step our game up in diet for sure, for vibration and frequency, and seeing past the bullshit. Let's say, like literally seeing past all the noise, because there's so much noise out there. We stay in a constant loop of fear, and that includes, well, for me, I know it includes for me, but we and scientifically know this now. That the cortisol and all of the fear hormones are in the meat that we're consuming. And that's
I get it.
That's not okay, and it's not a point of like getting it. It's like I literally get sick when I eat meat now. Literally, if I can't eat meat anymore. I get angry, I get touchy, and I get like it just feels disgusting.
What about what about halal meat? Meat that's been when their life is taken, it's done in sort of a kinder way.
Yeah, even halal meat.
I don't know, so like I don't want to offend anybody. It's just what I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, so correct me. But I always thought that it was blessed meat, okay? But then I heard that what they do to these animals is like literally slit their throats and let them bleed out. Like I'm like, how is that any sort of, like, how is that better? How is that humane? Or like,
yeah, it's done in a more humane way, because
really?
Because the other ways are less humane than that. So I think there's a level of humaneness there.
So
but what I want to do is
we're looking at degrees of severity now, right?
Exactly.
Degrees of bad. Okay, well this is less bad than that bad.
I know.
It's just bad. Or it's not okay.
It's either bad or not okay. But for some of us, we do need protein in our diets based on blood type and other things. And I know that there's plants that offer protein too.
It's not the protein. Actually, first of all protein comes from plants. Yeah. The meat that you're eating in the meat that you're eating it originally derives from plants. Okay, it's actually aminos. It's not the protein. And I am so strong, like I can do one-handed handstands. I'm not sitting there counting my proteins, okay?
Yeah.
Actually, like so much, and this is just a misconception. This is the brainwashing in the media. And I love that you kind of tried this back into COVID, because that's actually a really important thing, because one of the reasons what we need to be more plant-based is because of our gut health. So that's like, we have the head brain, the heart brain. The good gut bacteria thrives off a vegan diet. Yeah. It is triggered, and inflammation happens when you eat wheat, when you eat meat, sugar, dairy, and alcohol. Those are like the biggest triggers. And like, what is everybody eating these days? You know, like the liquor stores are open, everything's fast food and it's fried meat and like, you know, cholesterol causing stuff. Like everything is designed to make us sick and fail.
Yeah, yeah, and the whole, going back to a moment ago, the whole energy of food and so forth. I actually do think plants have feelings. So let me give you an example, or at least they have energy, and maybe I can give.
Grateful for it though. Like,
Yeah,
I-
like if you do the plant test, so that you can do this plant test where you get two similar plants, and you show one love, and you show one no love. You show them actually the opposite of love. Okay, I'm not going to say the word. So you say them the opposite of love, and then the one you show love will actually grow better than the other one because of that energy that you're putting at it. And there's a guy named Dr. Emoto, right, who you may have his book, and he put words like hate and love and nothing on the middle one, and the rice in the water would grow in a certain way. And he looked at the crystals, and the love crystals were beautiful, but the hate ones, or ones you put the word Hitler on, those crystals were destroyed, like they were all grotesque. And so not only does that show that words have nutrition or energy in them, but also those things react to it. But also when they put the Hitler on one, it shows that we're all connected to source. So in a way, when we're eating plants, we're eating anything, we're eating part of source, and we're consuming what that particular plant, animal, or whatever it is has experienced on its way, and then we're consuming that energy, becomes part of us. I think we all agree on that, don't we?
we do. I also think that has a lot to do with the water content in the in the fruit and everything, or the vegetables or the rice, because we are essentially water. So that's like, I mean, going back to that point of like giving gratitude to your food. Like I don't necessarily say thank you all the time to my food, but I make it with love. Like I make it look beautiful. I make it healthy. I make it with intention. And I'm always, as I eat it, I'm like, wow, this is so delicious. So that consciousness in itself, it's like giving thanks to the food and helping to nourish you. Like, you know, as a Reiki practitioner, you can bless your own water. So it's just, that's once again goes back to the consciousness, and like the eating meat to this level in the state that this planet is just an unconscious act. And nobody's conscious of the impact of those decisions. Whereas like eating more plants, it's actually positively impacting the planet because it's going to regenerate the soil. It's improving the air, you know, whereas meat does the opposite. So
yeah, and that's something I call the conscious economy. So having people and planet first organizations, or organizations that aren't people and planet first, pivoting into that. And I know that we're going to talk about fashion and other sort of products we can have that are plant-based. But we're talking about plant-based food today. I mean, Phil, what's your favorite plant-based food?
I gotta say, combination-wise, beets, portobello mushrooms, and like an arugula combo, and then all the oils and whatever that needs to go in there, and then that's like, I could eat that all day, anytime.
Really?
Oh yeah, for breakfast, lunch, because it tastes so good, and then it's so filling, and then my body just like, it goes into this like rest, digest, heal state, like automatically. Like that food puts me into sort of like calm. If I need to relax, recharge, and purge as well. It's a brilliant food, so that's my favorite.
That's go ahead.
that's really good too, because like what he's eating. So the mushrooms are a really good substitute for meat. Like I can make portobello mushrooms taste like steak, and meat eaters will be like, it tastes like steak.
So good.
And beets have the iron. Beets are one of the best sources of iron out of the whole plant family. So is chocolate. I eat a lot of chocolate.
Chocolate's the best.
But yeah,
No,
so
I only eat chocolate. That's all I eat.
I eat it for breakfast. It's a brain food, and it's good for your heart. But anyways, yeah, so what he's eating, and like the arugula, people underestimate the power of greens. Greens have a lot of proteins in them. And stuff like chia seeds, like 100 grams of chia seeds is like the same amount as steak. You know, and people totally underestimate this. It's the seeds and these sprouts and these microgreens that are actually like super protein amino carriers, because they have the entire nutrition of the plant in this tiny little compact powerhouse.
So I
So
gotta
that's
tell you,
information. It's not just the calories.
it's amazing. So I gotta tell you because I want to bring this to you because I feel like your wisdom is like immense, amazing. Thank you for bringing that. I got really well. I couldn't stomach food probably like the end of November. So I protested food and I ate sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and spring water
Nice.
for like 40 days because I just couldn't do it. And that, I feel when you're talking about the seeds and the power of seeds, like so much protein, oils, and the
Healthy fat.
like the essentials are all in those little seeds. And I would just eat like a palmful of that, and then whenever I was hungry, that's all I'd eat. I'd make sure I was properly hydrated, and then I was moving. And I feel like it's reset my whole gut. And
Oh, yeah.
I can't even think about eating steak anymore because it's like, oh no, my gut's like, no. Why are we thinking that? No, we don't want that. We want the seeds, and we want the vegetables. We want the clean food. So it's the transition over the past couple of months has been like absolutely amazing.
So the seeds think you're two-timing on them, eh? With the meat, they're like, don't go back to her.
Oh,
Don't
no,
go
but
back to the meat.
Seeds are good for the winter time.
Yeah.
Really, really good for the winter time.
So it's like a seed detox.
Yeah. and
That's
then
like my main source of protein is
Yeah.
seeds and nuts. Like I
Yeah.
eat nut butter, and I've been similar to you. Like I just finished my third detox since September, and I'm still fasting. I'm like intermittent fasting. I eat like, maybe a few small meals. Like I eat salads and stuff all day, but like lots of nut butters throughout the day. Like I bought like one of those big containers of nut butter like 3 days ago. I'm like half done.
So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I use ghee. I'm not into the nut butter. Sounds like I better experience that. Sounds like I better. I'm on a 2-day intermittent detox right now, so I won't eat till dinner tomorrow night.
You know what you should
Right
try
now.
in the morning is brain food. Okay, so in the morning, and I know this because I do this, but anyways, Jim Quick will like totally back this up. So I do my lemon ginger detox water. I also consume chocolate because it's good for your brain and good for the heart, and it's got magnesium and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the best way to make your chocolate that you're going to get these amino acids and the healthy fats and everything, and just also good for your brain, is take some really good tahini, add some cacao powder. Cacao is the most nutrient dense food, and it's like rich in vitamins and magnesium and stuff like that. And then add some maple syrup, or if you want to go sugar free, just add in like some monk fruit and like balance it out. You can add a little bit of water if you want. Mix that together, and you have yourself like this delicious in between a chocolate syrup and in between a chocolate fudge. And I just like eat that, and that's
That's a
like
great idea. That's a great idea. I sort of do that with my bulletproof coffee on Fridays. Tomorrow I'll do collagen and cacao powder and brain octane and tea.
Yeah.
Detox tea and maple syrup. So all in the same dimensions. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. There's no right way to do it. Everybody's different, right? So you gotta way that works.
Yeah, but I'm going to try the chocolate.
Do it.
You should have a specialty menu item on that.
I was actually thinking of doing like little things like this is my brain food menu. And
Exactly.
they're fun. It's not like it has to be like this disgusting tasting like health food concoction. It can be delicious. And it
Like
should be delicious.
like a green goopy thing. Everyone always has those green drinks. You don't know what's in those, but they're green. Phil, do you have a song for us?
Yeah, sure. I do. I do.
This is fun. I'm getting so excited. I love talking about food.
No, this is really great, and it's like it helps because it sort of like reinforces the shift. There has to be a conscious shift in diet. What we're taking in for sure.
Well, one more thing before you get on. Before I became vegan or vegetarian, I was in Argentina, and this psychotherapist actually told me that when you don't eat meat, you are more attuned to like source energy, or like more psychic, he said in Spanish, whatever. But I think that's also because when you are fasting and you're doing these things and you're eating more higher vibrational foods, you're not as weighed down to this material world. And that's actually why I'm fasting right now. My metabolism isn't taking so much of my energy, so I'm channeling that to my work, and everything is just coming at me, like opportunities are coming. I'm super busy, but super focused because I'm not eating stuff. And sometimes what we consume, if it's contaminated with pesticides or GMOs, it's better to eat less and clear yourself out, because then you're just channeling your own energy or source energy. So anyways, just had to add that.
No, it's perfect.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. and putting that into words, because that's it. It's like what we take in. That's what's gonna come out.
Exactly.
So if we take in not okay stuff, we're not going to turn out okay.
Yeah,
but if we take in okay stuff, we're going to be okay with the energetics of things.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, it's a universal principle for sure.
Okay. Okay. So this would be like a breakup song for the old food. It doesn't. This is not working anymore, and it's not you. It's me. I feel the sadness in my bones. I can't leave the feeling all alone. It's despair of losing you in the wake of my fire. I destroyed everything I knew, and still I must go on and find something new to build my life upon. A light, a love and trust in new beginnings, it's a must. A heart, fire and love, we come now from above. It's in relationships we learn about ourselves so we can grow in love. It can be hard, but one thing I know is it takes a lot of heart. Still I must go on and eat something new to build my life upon. Light, love and trust and new beginnings, it's a must. Heart, fire and love, we come now from above. I loved you then, but now I see it's got to be this way. We can try again, but not in those ways of hypocrisy. Still I must go on and find something new to build my life upon. Light, love and trust in new beginnings, it's a must. A heart, fire and love, we come now from above. I'm sorry that it went down this way. I didn't mean to do you away. I feel we learned a lot along the way, but for now we have to part our ways. Still I must go on and find something new to build my life upon. Light, love and trust and new beginnings, it's a must. A heart, fire and love, we come now from above.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. What came through for you on that, Angela?
I was just enjoying it. Nothing really came through.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I was thinking I want to sing more.
Yeah, do you have another song?
I could. I mean, I wasn't meaning right now, but I totally can. I can sing anytime. But we should sing. I love singing. That's so much fun. I was telling Chris today that I've been guided that I'm supposed to be singing more, and so I have been, and I'm slowly putting together like little bits of videos and stuff, and I want to make an album. So
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing. I would love to hear that when that comes out.
cool. Do you guys have any requests for music?
Your favorite song?
Okay, I won't. I probably won't sing the entire thing because it's a little long. But oh, can I sing a song in Spanish? This is a beautiful
Yeah,
song.
please.
I wish
Beautiful.
I wish you guys understood the lyrics because they're so cute. Anyway, sometimes when I'm walking down the street, just to like get people out of their shells, because nobody smiles or does anything these days. So I walk down the street and I sing like at the top of my lungs, and I just like smile at people. And this is one of the songs I sing, and I freak people out. It's called Niños Medicina. So that means medicine children.
Amazing, beautiful.
Let me just find the lyrics here. All right. So, I don't know why, I just really resonate with songs in Spanish. So before it begins, I'll just give you guys a few little lines to so it's like, I dream of a world where we care for one another, where we're united and we're all crazy for each other, where we heal deeply. I dream of these days where we find our medicine that we share with full of joy from Mexico until Argentina. So it's hard translating. Sueño con un mundo donde cuidemos del otro, donde nos tratamos todos locos, que queremos sanar profundo. Sueño que en tus días encuentres siempre medicina, la compartes lleno de alegría, desde México hasta Argentina. Porque somos niños medicina, despertando sueños, mira, compartiendo la alegría, con nuestra dulce melodía. Porque el amor estamos hechos, que esperando nuestro pecho, de que desde cuando se comparte, que nuestra dulce vuelve a ser. Sueño que tus canciones salen amargas, emociones que despierten nuevas pasiones y curen todos los corazones. Sueño que nos veamos con amor y como hermanos, que extendemos todas las manos y sintamos que nos amamos. Isn't it cute? Okay, so that's like, I dream of your songs that heal bitter emotions, that wake up new passions and cure all the hearts. Sueño que te encuentres belleza en todas las miradas, que confíes siempre en las llamadas de tu alma que fuerte canta. Sueño que el camino te lleve siempre a buen destino, que cuando mires las estrellas te acuerdes que vienes de ellas. Porque somos niños medicina, despertando sueños, vida, compartiendo la alegría con nuestra dulce melodía. Porque de amor estamos hechos, que se expande en nuestro pecho y crece cuando se comparte y nuestra voz se vuelve arte. Sueño que tus canciones son amargas, emociones que despierten nuevas pasiones, que curen todos los corazones. Sueño que nos veamos con amor y como hermanos, que juntemos todas las manos y sintamos que nos amamos. Okay, and before I end, I'm just going to give you guys the final lines because they're so beautiful. So it says, we are children of the earth, from the city until the desert, waking this deep love that can heal the world. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, here we go.
Somos niños de tierra, de la ciudad hasta la sierra, despertando el amor profundo que puede sanar al mundo.
Beautiful.
Great.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Beautiful songs you found.
Thanks. They find me, actually. These songs find me.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Beautiful. Really beautiful.
I'm in a good mood now. Singing makes me like so happy. I love it.
So good.
Yeah, us too. Us too. That's why we have you here. It's great. It's great to have you.
Yeah,
So plant-based foods. What should we take away? We've talked about sort of being conscious about foods and the plant-based foods, and I think the one comment I would have is that, and I should probably be on the big screen. The one comment I would have is that if you really love yourself, then you're going to do the right thing for yourself, but then also for others, and show love to plants. And as we learned, we can eat living plants, and that's still showing love to them, and you're getting that energy from them. You know.
Yeah.
So what else? What else would you add? Like.
Okay. Well, okay, so there's a lot of reasons why we should all be more plant-based, whether or not people choose to be completely plant-based. The obvious ones are it's for the environment, it's for your health, it is for, the economy, like supporting our local agriculture. But also like on a spiritual level, it does allow you to connect more directly with source energy, especially if you are eating higher vibrational foods. It's the best way to, all of these medicines, usually come from plants, right? So we have to think about food as medicine, and that is another one. But your gut health too, and like you said, it's a consciousness thing, whether or not people become completely plant-based or they're just choosing to be more plant-based. It is not only going to be impacting you personally because your health and all these other reasons, but it is something that we need to do because we are all connected on this earth, and the unconscious consumption and the way that we're consuming is having such a detrimental impact, not only on the environment, but like on our own souls and our connection to ourselves and each other, because it is energy, right? And we're feeding the beast, we're feeding the industry by supporting it and just turning a blind eye. Like the only way we can actually ever make a change is to become conscious. So the change all becomes with us. So if food is the catalyst, I think, to driving a lot of these changes, and if eating more plants is a really easy way to do it.
Yes, eating more plants. What are your thoughts, Phil?
Eat more plants.
Yeah.
just do it. You bring up an amazing point there about being complicit with the problem. What could I do? I can't necessarily change the whole entire world right now, but what I can do is I can change what I'm doing for myself. I can change my carbon footprint. That's whatever that is, that a technical term or a clinical term?
It is.
It is. Watching what we're eating, and then it does start with diet. It definitely does start with diet, physical diet, mental diet, spiritual diet, and that's all with the food, and then what we're doing for our mental health and mental energy, and what we're doing for our spiritual energy.
Totally, it does affect your mind too.
It does, yeah.
It does.
The foundation of all of it is in the physical material. Like, can we be? How are we grounded? Am I grounded in? I'm going to do it rotting carcass, or am I grounded in living food?
Yeah.
There's a choice, right?
Yeah.
It's your choice, and I'm choosing. I want to live with living food because I want to live to 130.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50 now. That gives me 80 years to live, and I want to live a fun life for the rest of my life.
Yeah, there's so much to be done and so much to learn during that period. I mean, the way that I approach is that I eat my frequencies, so I know what foods have a vibration that don't work for my immune system, that think it's an attack. So I stay away from those, and I eat my frequencies of those foods, but I've been doing pretty mindful. I would say we probably have a GMO footprint of food. Most people do, because they're eating so many GMOs, and those toxins, you take them in, your body doesn't know what to do with them. For women, it stores them in their breasts in lumps, some of those toxins, and then suddenly they think they have breast cancer, and then Western medicine kicks in and starts to take things apart, which isn't right. I mean, it was just because you ate toxic food that you didn't know that you were doing it, because as you said, Angela, you're unconscious, right? There's so many unconscious people. How many people do you think we need to change into consciousness to really make a change?
Billions. Well, you know what? I think that once we get the changes more mainstream, it will be easier. But right now, this is what I'm trying to do with the Restaurant Evolution. There's a lack of healthy options. There's a lack of attractive, affordable vegan or vegetarian options on menus. And a big part of the problem is, like, you know, we've all been conditioned to think, like, I was conditioned too. I actually got in a fight with a vegan once, and I was like, well, that's a farm animal. All animals are animals. We're animals too, right? You can't go speciesism. But another thing is, people actually don't know how good their body is designed to feel. And I, you know, thought I was healthy 6 years ago, and then I've been on this health journey, and I just keep getting better. And now that I've been even detoxing, like, it's even better. So it's like, you know, if making that first little step to be more plant-based is going to help people do that, like, nobody's living at their optimal. Nobody's, like, hardly anybody's living up to their potential. And I think a lot of that is because we're so grounded in this material world, and it's toxic, you know? Like, meat actually, like, I like, a lot of meat is carcinogenic, you know, and like dairy and stuff too. And it's like, this is the main thing on most menus.
So, okay, well said.
Yeah, so,
well said. So let's do round table on what we're going to have for lunch, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. I'm going to start. I'm going to have seeds, actually. I know you guys didn't know that, but I have them, and I changed my mind. I was actually going to have berries too. I have some berries I got to use up. I got blueberries, strawberries, organic, non-GMO. Put them in the blender. I have nuts. Okay, that's me. Let's go to Phil next.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna eat, but it's gonna be like I'm feeling like sprouts today.
Really?
Yeah.
You look sort of sprouty.
Well, because it's springtime, man. Like that. The
Yeah, it's like it's back.
Sprouts are coming through. So eat according to your season and what's happening in environment and nature. And then we talk about like taking on the energetics of food. I want to be. This is like the rebirth, right? So the winter time's like death. Death and planting seeds and you know, shedding layers, and now it's like, oh, you know, I'm like a new flower that it's gonna come out and emerge. So I want the energetics of where's the growth, where's the rebirth, and then, you know, summertime is gonna be like more about flowers and fruits, and then the fall time is going to be a little bit more about root vegetables and things like that to bring us back to the ground.
Thank you for that share. I feel like we're gonna have to do a session on micro farming though, because in the winter you should still have the benefit of that. And I know they're popping up in strip malls everywhere and so forth. But let's go for the food for Angela.
Okay. I was just going to say, you can also experiment with some edible flowers on your sprout salad or whatever. Yeah, that makes it beautiful. You are what you eat, so eat beautiful food. And I never got into the colors of food too. Like, I don't worry about protein, but I eat the spectrum of all the colors, and that way I know that I'm getting all the nutrients and stuff that I need. Anyways, today I'm either gonna have like a miso soup with a bunch of different mushrooms in it, and some tofu. I don't normally do tofu, but I love seaweed and stuff. Or I'm going to have an acai bowl loaded up with some coconut, some hemp seeds, some almond butter, probably some frozen blueberries.
We're coming over.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 5 minutes.
So one of the two. So.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you for that share, and thank you to everyone on Instagram, Facebook, and on the Restream, on Twitter, and thank you, Angela, for being here. And the love and light in our hearts goes out to you until we return next time to the COVID Freedom Sessions next Thursday at 12:30 Eastern.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Singing again.
Amazing. Let's connect about songs for next week.
Let's do it. Oh my God, I'm looking to do a duet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Bye,
Sounds
guys.
good.
Okay.
Bye now.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.